Good morning. My name is Carly Richards. I will be interviewing you for the Summer Youth Employment Program.
My name is Lechelle McCarty. Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you.
Lechelle. Thank you for coming. So why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I just moved back home from college up at Western Washington University and finished my third year. I'm going into my fourth year in the fall, finishing up my degree in physical education and health, along with kinesiology and movement studies. I'll be double majoring. I grew up here. I've also worked in this position for the last 2 years, last 2 summers actually. So I'm really interested in applying and potentially working this summer for a third year.
What do you consider to be some of your greatest strengths?
My greatest strengths, I feel, have to be being organized. Without being organized, I would not know where my life began and end. You know, I'm the highlighter queen, and I also have 40 different colors of pens just to keep myself organized. Without that, I would be lost and wouldn't be able to stay on track on where I'm supposed to be. I find another strength to be that I'm responsible and reliable. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I find that to be also one of my strengths, being able to be there and be someone to be dependable and also extremely organized.
What about what some of your weaknesses are?
My weaknesses, I would have to say my weaknesses somewhat go with, with my strengths, in the sense that if I didn't know what I was doing, with my strengths, then my weaknesses is I do sometimes double book myself and will, I was supposed to be here and I was supposed to be at another place, or with college, I have to have an organizer and I have to know what I'm doing. I have it also on my phone just to kind of make sure that I'm 100%, where I'm supposed to be. So I guess my weakness would be, sometimes being a little forgetful if I don't keep myself going. Also, one of my biggest weaknesses is that I don't know how to say no. So I'm always saying yes. Somebody asks me to do something, whether it's painting someone's house or babysitting or working, 2 or 3 jobs. I struggle to say no.
Why do you want to work here?
I want to work here first because I've enjoyed it the last 2 summers. It was a great experience working with the youth again. I used to work at the school as the athletic director for 5 years and a paraeducator for 9. And with being in college currently, I really miss working with the youth in that age group, along with helping them to become employed and learning how to how to keep a job, how to maintain relationships with others, how to manage their money and figure out what they're going to do with their money that they get during the summer before school starts next fall. That's probably the biggest reason why I want to be a part of that, and also get back with working with students again.
Describe a difficult problem that you have faced in your career and what did you do to overcome it?
I'd have to say the most difficult problem I've ever dealt with is dealing with parents when I was an athletic director. I would have students who weren't making the grades and either had to sit out for that week or couldn't go to the state tournament. And I would have parents who were, taking it personally and thinking it was something I was doing towards them versus actually following a policy, and therefore would, meet with them, and they'd take it up to the principal and up to the superintendent and, try to fight me with it. I've had some death threats over it. And to overcome it, it's just kind of one of those, talking with the student knew what they did wrong, and then they, knew, there was one particular student, we took the state with us just so that they had the experience, but they weren't able to play. And just having that experience, eventually the kid came to me and like thanked me for, holding them accountable, even though it wasn't a choice I had. It was one that I had to uphold, as it was a rule for the entire district. But that particular student learned from the experience, and for that I think it was, a great for the kid. For me, learning to get a thick skin, I guess, because having a parent that's just outraged and upset, and I'm a solution type of person. Somebody brings a problem, I want to figure out a way to fix it, and I couldn't fix this. So I really had to sit and wait and just kind of get an ear banging, and then, wait for them to calm down before I could speak to them and, find a common ground.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. Hopefully I'll be the next PE teacher here at Neonville High School and the athletic director again. I would really, really love to be back home permanently and would love to be back in the school system.
What skills do you think are required to perform this job effectively?
To perform this job effectively, I believe entails having a lot of communication and patience as you're dealing with very young students of 14 up to students of 21, and so you have a wide range of students. So for me, being able to communicate clear, concise expectations, especially for the younger kids, and also you really kind of have to be a leader in this, as what you do and how you do it. They kind of see like, oh, okay, this, she's had a job before, she kind of knows what's going on. So I think, just being able to be patient and communicate with them, because they're going to decide that they don't have to come to work, or they're going to decide that they want to go to the beach because it's a nice day. So, having to instill some of those responsibilities and being, a reliable employee is, I think, the biggest by far.
Why did you leave your previous job?
I left my previous job. It was back in Bellingham. It was to be a basketball official, and I left it just because the season was over, and it doesn't carry on through the spring and summer, so it just kind of ends. So I didn't really leave it. It kind of just ended. I plan to go back next fall, and I'll be continuing the same position as official.
Do you have any questions for me?
When do we expect to be called back?
I will notify you by the end of next week.
Awesome.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't believe so.
No? Okay, well, Lechelle, thank you for your time today, and I will be sure to let you know about my conclusions by the end of next week.
Awesome. Thank you.